So Carole King is a name that has been floating around in my noggin, and I did react to her music a long time ago, maybe like a year, and I was wondering when I would get back to Carole King. Well, today's the day. What's up, guys? GeorgeTheCloud here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my life. We have Carole King, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, 1982, Reeling in the Years archive. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have heard this song. I don't know who it's originally by. Is it Carole King? I will look into it at the end, but this is a special request by one of my Patreons. Big shout out to Chris. So he writes here. Let me take a breath. This was live on the Merv Griffin Show in 1982. I hadn't heard that name. I grew up in the United States, and I was very interested in these shows that had to do like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, and one of them was the Merv Griffin Crosswords, something like that. Whatever happened to that show? It seems like the guy invented a ton. Okay, at least in television. So Carole King and Jerry Goffin both wrote the song, and Aretha Franklin recorded it in 1967. Ah, okay, so that's who made it famous. I was trying to think whose voice can I put to the name, and I guess was Aretha, or Aretha, which I've never reacted to before, I don't think. In 1971, Carole recorded her own version on her famous landmark album, Tapestry. And by the way, the person sitting next to Carole's right in the sunglasses during the interview is radical, polarizing feminist leader of the 60s and 70s, Gloria Steinem. Loved by some, hated by others. Oh, okay. All right, thank you for that context. Well, let's get into the video here. I should probably read the description. Reeling in the Years Productions has available for licensing over 30,000 hours of music footage spanning 90 years. Additionally, we have more than 8,000 hours of in-depth interviews with the 20th century's icons of film and television, politics, comedy, literature, art, science, fashion, and sports. Well, this is making me a bit nervous. Disclaimer, I don't have any association with the press or the record label, so I hope I can put this on YouTube. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to be a bit of a longer video, as we can see, but I appreciate you taking the time to watch my reactions and hang out. It really means out a lot. And if you have reaction requests, please go to my Coffee page or Patreon. It helps out a lot. Grab some popcorn, fill up your water, put your headphones on. See, I'm nervous because I'm excited to get into this song.
Now, to
Let's
get
go.
things started, we're going to have a very appropriate song. I cannot believe she's here in the studio. Since the day I started a talk show, I've wanted this young woman on our show. She's a very special woman. She has had as much impact on popular music in America as any woman in history. She is a 4-time Grammy winner, 7 gold albums. Her album Tapestry has gone platinum 15 times over. And she's going to sing one of her many big hits from her wonderful album, Tapestry. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Carole King.
Merv Griffin, Carole King, icons.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel uninspired, and when I knew I'd have to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but your love was the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. When my soul was in the lost and found. You came along to claim it. I didn't know just what was wrong with me till your kiss helped me name it. Now I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for, 'cause if I make you happy, I don't need to do more. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you done to me. You make me feel so good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural, natural woman. You make me feel, you know you make me feel, you know you make me feel like a natural woman. Yeah, you make me feel like a natural woman, natural woman.
Carole King.
Nice.
Isn't it great to have her here? As I said at the opening, we're
Okay, so I'm gonna get the mic back. I'm gonna finish watching the rest of the interview, but first I want to give you my thoughts on the performance here. So Carole King, she has this voice that, how do I put it? It sounds very raw, very real before autotune, before, mixing, mastering, editing, and effects and all that. It was just like, that's her voice, and she's not afraid to show it. It's very strong, very direct, I would say. And from what I've read, Carole King was like incredible songwriter. And she was writing songs for a ton of people that made them popular, famous, and successful. But what about her own voice? So I really enjoy the fact that, she was willing to come out and perform it herself. It seems like she didn't do that a ton, right? People that write for others, they're not gonna, they're just saving it for other people. It kind of reminds me of Bob Dylan. So he's regarded as, an incredible songwriter, performed some songs himself. His voice is very particular, and that's why I kind of related to Carole King. Not the most polished, kind of well-rounded and not a smooth voice, to put it that way. Such as like Aretha Franklin or somebody like that would have. But seeing it performed by the person who wrote the song, to me, is like legitimate, right? It's like, that's something I would want to watch. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for whatever random reason, I decided to start writing songs, and I gave one of my songs to Ed Sheeran, and he performed it gloriously, right? Everybody heard it. It's like, oh, this is his song. Wouldn't you want to hear it from me? At least like how I would interpret the song? Well, maybe just say, all right, let me know your comments down below, but hopefully you would. And that's my whole point. It's like, yeah, maybe there's so many covers, other people taking over the song, making it more popular because they're already famous, or they're regarded as having like a commercial sounding voice. Like that's fine, but in this case we got to hear it directly from her, which I think is awesome. And to point out the song itself, "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman," and her voice here sounds natural, vulnerable, right? It's almost like she's exposing her vocals. And I don't know, I just find that it's very pure to do that and sincere. So I respect it. And now let's go into the interview here. There's something else I wanted to say, but I probably forgot. Okay. By the way, this is the first time I'm ever seeing Merv Griffin himself. So let's see what his interviews are like.
As I said at the opening, we're very privileged to have as our guest on the show today, and we thank Gloria and Ms. Magazine for doing this to arrange for the appearance of Carole King. Here is Carole. Carole? It wasn't easy luring you from that ranch in Idaho.
No. It took something really special like this, though, because when I first heard about the women that were going to be on this show, all of them are women for whom I have a great deal of respect, because they're committed to something they believe in and have put themselves out on the line, standing up, voicing their opinions, and it hasn't always been easy. I know that, but I really respect them for that, and I wanted to be in this company because I try to be that myself.
Carole, you raised
And that's literally what I saw from Carole.
4 children.
Yeah.
And you've had a very successful, as we all know, musical career. How did you maintain that balance?
Well, hasn't always been balanced, but I always felt that life was a priority as much as the career. It was never more one or more the other. They just sort of flowed along together, and I was lucky enough to be able to have the freedom of somebody to help with the children from the very, very beginning almost. Right. And that was a key factor. I know a lot of women have problems finding help to care, or have had problems until, your advances in that field, but that's been a big factor.
What's your personal life like today?
Well, I am...
We're also curious. Everybody is so stunned you're here. I know that when you walked through today, people just stopped and said they couldn't believe that you were... This is maybe your second appearance ever on television, isn't it?
I think maybe...
Yeah, I guess I was on the right path. She seems like the type of person that just kind of works in the shadows, right? Just producing, creating, making, and they're not there to show off. They don't really care about, the limelight, the fame, the fashion, the camera, stuff like that. So they're just kind of doing their thing, maybe more introverted, but of course they have a musical talent, so they write music. That's the vibe that I'm getting from Carole King. So he says, it wasn't easy getting you out of that ranch from Idaho. So completely different lifestyle than, somebody famous that likes to be, on television and in front of people has.
So the last one was about 15 years.
This is maybe your second appearance ever on television, isn't it?
I think maybe so. The last one was about 15 years ago, and I can't even remember exactly where.
Wow.
Must have been an impressive show.
Really? Well, you can bet I'll remember this one. Everybody's been very gracious and very...
So from the comment that I got here by Chris, the one on the right, this is Gloria, the controversial kind of person. I don't know who she is. Man, I'm really enjoying this aesthetic from back in the day. Late 70s, early 80s, the patterns, the color palettes, the clothing, just, it was a different time.
Nice. And oh, you asked what life is like now. It's I'm in a relationship. I have, I guess, an unofficial husband. We're everything but officially, a ceremony. And
Unofficial, you say?
and
You have the license?
we have the license. We just have never quite had the ceremony. We're just going to do it one day, wake up, and when it feels good, we'll go do it. Or we won't.
I'm the captain of this ship. I'm available.
But
to
the
perform
groom
a
isn't
ser-
here.
Ooh, I just I mean to pause it, but guys, I have comments. I'm the captain of the ship. I reacted to a song. Who was that by? That somebody requested. Brad Taggart, I think, requested it, and it was something about my ship. Was that a reference to that song? I reacted to it. Something, my ship, give me back my ship, and it was the longest outro ever. Okay.
And we are working together in Idaho on an issue which involves human rights. We've become aware of bureaucratic abuses, it's a lot easier to do in Idaho because jobs are limited, the economy is not doing too well there, and it's more noticeable in an area like that that's less populated. And some officials of the United States Forest Service who basically have a good cause, to manage the forest, but some people kind of get power mad. And we've sort of uncovered examples of that, and we're speaking out together. I'm obviously the more visible one, but we do work together to try to keep people honest. I mean, again, that's why I'm so respectful of you two women, because you do speak out.
But you give us music to do it with. I mean, women's music has been such an important part of this last decade. I don't think I had ever seen a woman give a downbeat until about 72 or 73. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and I've never been self-conscious about that. Somebody has, or I've been asked from time to time, have you ever encountered any barriers? And I know that I'm an exception, but I haven't. I've never felt that there was anything that I couldn't do. I've just gone and done it, and I've never run into any opposition. The thing about the 2 jobs, yes, that's true. I would, and I've never run into any opposition.
I like how she's honest with her answer. She's not trying to make herself seem like a victim or that she has been held back by the system and society, although she understands that, there's many women that encounter those barriers, and she also wants to represent them, or at least, her music. So far I'm liking her authenticity.
The thing about the 2 jobs, yes, that's true. I would work, I wrote songs with Jerry Goffin, who was my first husband, and that is very difficult.
But have you been involved in the actual women's movement?
Not openly, not overtly. I haven't gotten up and spoken about it because I really didn't. I felt that everyone was doing it better than I. I was writing songs about feelings. I was writing songs about. I was just being myself, and a lot of people apparently could identify with that, and that was very rewarding. But I wasn't really conscious of being a vanguard. I just did what I did, and I guess I was good at it, and I had the respect of both men and women, and I never had a problem working with either sex. Right. In fact, I enjoy working with men either way.
But you're living it. The whole problem is to be able to do what we want to do.
Yes.
I went in to buy a leotard, in fact, the other day, and the woman who was running the shop said to me, she's there with 50 people working and doing a very good job, and she said, you didn't make it easy, but you made it possible.
That's right. You did.
And it isn't that we want to do it for each other, or that we want any special standards or any special favors. We just want to be able to use our talents.
Yeah. Well, as I say, I was one of the lucky ones. I know that I was the exception, but if my example has opened up ways for anybody, I'm proud and pleased that it has.
What? How dare you cut the interview? Well, that I want to see. I want to find out what happens. But maybe it was, a very long video. Okay. First things first. We hit the like. I'm pretty sure I am subscribed to Carole King. Double check here. It's been a long time. And I'll have a link of the original video down in the description below. I actually enjoy watching interviews from back in the day. I've reacted to a few of them, and I welcome them. If people have suggestions, feel free to send them my way, because I get I get to see a different side of the person that I associate with the music, right? It's one thing to hear, the audio, then it's another to watch them perform live, right? Watch the video. And it's another to see them in a setting that is, more casual. They're just talking, they're sitting down, and they're, explaining their thought process, their ideas. So I find that cool. Last thing I want to say about Carole King, going back to her voice, to me, it reminds me a bit of somebody like Janis Joplin, who has this like kind of strong, raspy, like raw voice that I would expect in a genre like maybe folk, maybe blues music, perhaps rock, right? But not this one. This sounds like a song that is made for somebody like the people that have covered it, maybe like the Carpenters, Karen Carpenter or somebody like that. But again, really awesome to see her actually, the actual writer, perform the song for people to see. And I wonder like why she didn't go on television as much. Could be that, like I said, she likes to be more lurking in the shadows and living her life. So that's fine. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Write down your comments, your suggestion, complaints even down below. Please subscribe, and at the end do a flip. Till the next.